Welcome to another episode of This is the Bay. Jack Brennan, Timothy Lindsay, uh,
Aaron
you know,
Rodgers.
yeah, sorry, not Nicholas Cage, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, you know, have you seen a lot of the pictures that he has shown up? Like he's shown up as Hal L. I think he's dressed up as Hal L from Happy Gilmore on Halloween. Uh, Nicholas Cage here. When they went to Canada, I mean, he was in a jean, like one of those suits, cowboy
Tuxedo?
hat. Yeah. I think it was like last year, 2 years ago. But he always has something planned. Like last year, showing up, he had the Kevin Chili shirt on. He had the shades. He was in flip flops, and it was like Aaron Rodgers doesn't care. And then he goes out and wins the second straight MVP. So, if this is any sort of indicator, he's going to win his third consecutive MVP.
I mean, dude, he's just having fun, which is great. And the other thing that I have to say about the season, and call it bullish, but I just need to enjoy this glass right now because it has the world championships on it. And after this season, I'm going to have to throw this in the trash can, a new one, because I'm going to need to put another number on here. And that's what I have to say about that.
Maybe I can get you that for your birthday or something, or I'll keep an eye out. Well, maybe I'll get you a sticker.
I mean, yeah, you can't see it, but whatever. It's caked in. It's caked in years here. 13.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll write that on, a long list of things that I have to get you for your birthday because I feel like I don't get you anything. Whatever. Moving on. Week one of the preseason is here for the Green Bay Packers. This is our first episode since, woo! Ric Flair. Woo! This is the first time we've talked though since training camp has begun. And we're heading towards Friday night, which is the Packers going to San Francisco. Try not to remember the January game. So they play. It's Friday night, NFL Network, and
On a
Aaron
scale
Rodgers.
of 1 to 5, how scared are you?
What do you mean of the Niners just this year?
I'm probably a 0. I'm not scared. Screw the Niners.
It's how I feel about the Buccaneers. I'm a little afraid of them, but also part of my language, but I want to kick their ass. I'm tired of all the stupid, Aaron Rodgers is 0-4 against the San Francisco 49ers in the playoffs. Did that quote come back to bite him on draft night? No. How many Super Bowls have the Niners won since Aaron Rodgers was drafted? 0. So, I mean, you guys can play that card all you want, but if they had drafted Aaron Rodgers, they'd probably have a couple of Super Bowls with those defenses they've had. Regardless, though, a big question that's been asked around training camp, starters playing in the preseason. It's already been confirmed Jordan Love is going to be starting, and Matt LaFleur also said Aaron Rodgers won't play the first 2 weeks of the preseason. It's smart, right?
Yeah, we're not that far into this extended season, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, you want to get a couple pops in. That's typically what preseason was about, but a lot of it now is seeing who's making the roster and who you're going to pick up off waivers when they get dropped from other teams. So I mean, it's a lot of these guys and the starters are getting reps in practice. I know it's not the same as game time reps. So for me, starters playing a quarter, I think that's fine. Do they have to play every game? No, but I would do a quarter, a half, especially a half in the last preseason game, really getting them geared up for the season. But again, you've got an extended season and you don't want to play these guys 4 more games the whole game.
He is 38 years old. He's going to be 39. Mercedes Lewis, another guy.
Aside, man. I mean, any team, really. It's
smart. Jordy Nelson. Remember 2015? He blew out his knee against the Steelers. Yeah, sorry. Opening old wounds. Don't want to do that. But I think it's a good episode. Off to a good start. You got your drink there. It's just – I'm sorry. Sorry about that. But, yeah, it's – I think the last time I remember seeing Aaron in a preseason game, I think was maybe 2018 when Jimmy Graham came to town. I remember he threw a touchdown pass to Jimmy Graham in the preseason against the Steelers. That was the last time I remember seeing him. Like maybe the last game for maybe a drive. Sammy Watkins, Romeo Doubs, these new guys. Maybe if they want to get something going, but really, Aaron has said all along the most important parts of the preseason are joint practices. when they play New Orleans, I believe here in a couple of weeks they have a joint practice with New Orleans. And though joint practices, those things get heated and physical very quickly. It's just like a regular season game and best on best, and players are trying to prove themselves. And that's a pretty big thing too. The only difference is, and Aaron said this last week when he was talking to the media, like the only difference between joint practices and preseason games are just the lights. Some players shrink when the lights are brightest, some players rise to the occasion. That's what he literally said. So that's the only difference. And, I'm interested to see how some of these players will play, just enjoying practices without fans watching. And I'm sure fans will be watching from the side or whatever, but I want to see, I don't know how many of these guys can bring it, how many of these young guys can bring it, especially with some of these guys on the PUP list. If we move forward, Bakhtiari, Elton Jenkins, Robert Tunyon, Christian Watson, and Crosby are all still on the PUP list. Now, Bakhtiari was moving around a little today. I think Crosby he wasn't dressed, but he was, moving around to practice too and whatnot. Are you worried about these guys at all?
I hate to say this, a little reminiscent of Brian Balaga with Bakhtiari. He's just constantly been injured. And I know he didn't always get the chance to get healthy and maybe came back. I mean, he had to come back when he came back last season. He did. But he's probably the one I'd be worried about. But the fact that they're not playing now, I mean, some of the guys that I'd want to see playing, yeah, but Crosby, I'm not that worried about. Bakhtiari, seasoned vet. Tunyon, we know what's going on. Watson and Jenkins, I mean, I'd love to see some guys getting reps together and getting some of that team camaraderie. And in some position classes, which I know we'll move on to at some point here as wide receivers, all of them have to compete against each other. There's no guarantee.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you got to show good reps. You've got a lot of new pieces on defense as well.
Exciting pieces.
To see that working together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I'm really not worried about what's being said now.
It's talking season.
Guys on the pup list are going to be there for 9-10 weeks and they're integral pieces, then yeah. But unfortunately, again, back to the extended season, I just feel that it's a different game. It's not really a 53-man roster anymore, dude. It's who's on your It's it's almost like an 80-man roster because of the amount of injuries and guys you got to have throughout the different position classes. So, just to circle back, full circle on the initial point, I think the preseason is so integral to watch, not just from a competition standpoint for the initial 53, but who are you going to target down the line when you need to fill in your roster?
Oh, yeah. Packers are probably the kings of using pretty much every inch of the practice squad. I feel like they always find different guys to step in. Like Arizona, week 8 last year. Remember that? I mean, that was an unbelievable game. But, I mean, bring in Juwan Winfrey. I think maybe they brought up Malik Taylor. I'm trying to think of some other players they brought in. But no Lazard, no Adams, no MVS. They were down their top 3 guys, and they stepped up and they, won. Juwan Winfrey caught 4 passes. Tunyon blew out his knee that game.
Yeah. I forgot that was the game.
Bakhtiari, I think, is going to be ready for week 1. People are freaking out. He said there was a low level of concern. I believe him. It's going to be tough, but I think he's okay. I think he'll be ready when he's ready, which I think is week 1. Tunyon was reportedly on track to play week 1 earlier in the offseason. We'll see where he's at, but he's been moving around a lot, and he has literally been making good strides. Like, he's been running around, stuff like that. I'm not worried about him. Plus, I expect Aguilar to step in and be a big-time pass catcher for the team at tight end. Jenkins, they said he was ahead of schedule. What does that mean? I always get confused. Like, oh my gosh, is he going to be ready for week 1? No, probably not. Of course, I'm sure mid-season probably with the way the Packers handle things on the offensive line with injuries. He blew out his knee in November, last November. I mean, I'm thinking around midseason. I think that might be when he's ready. Knowing the Packers doctors and how they operate. But plus the Packers have a lot of versatility too. Zach Tom, they drafted of Wake Forest, Sean Ryan out of UCLA, versatility. Royce Newman can play guard and tackle. Runyon can play all over. So I mean, once Bakhtiari and Jenkins are there, though, man, it's going to be a great offensive line. I'm not worried about it at all. Aaron's not worried about that either. But man, the last two postseasons, man, we didn't have Bakhtiari against the Bucks, and then 2021, we didn't have Jenkins, we didn't have Bakhtiari, we didn't have Tunyon. I mean, we were missing guys. AJ Dillon goes out, gets hurt. I was there. Old wounds. Not going to bring that up now. Point is, injuries are a thing, and the Packers, I think, they know what they're doing, obviously, and I think I'm not worried about Bakhtiari. I'm not worried about Tunyon. I mean, I want them to be back as soon as possible, but in the end, Packers know what they're doing. Aaron Rodgers, like you said, they have a talented defense. Watson, he'll play at some point, maybe like the last game of the preseason. Again, I'm not worried about him either. He's in Aaron Rodgers' hip pocket, asking him questions, keeping him on his toes. I'm not worried about that at all. So I think, I think we're gonna be fine. I'm just excited. Again, the preseason. Romeo Dubs, dude. Romeo effing Dubs. I think I don't know if it's Dobbs or Dubs. I just think Dubs is cool. If that's his name. But some of these guys, I can't wait. I hope Sammy plays. Watkins, I know he's a veteran, but I wonder if he'll play some. Randall probably won't play, but Dubs, Samori Toure, who's been making plays, they were making plays on family night. I'm excited to see what they do against, a team. Yes, it's the preseason, but it's a team that has beaten up on us a little bit. And I know it's not, whatever, but I just want to see what they do, in the first game of the season.
And isn't that kind of crazy though, to think I really didn't know Samori Toure, didn't know much about him. I mean, I was Christian Watson, and the fact that Watson, is potentially not playing.
Yeah.
And we're going to be seeing some of these other guys. I'm pumped.
Juwan Winfrey, I'm hyped about because he's kind of been like on the practice squad, regular season roster. He's kind of been flip flopping between. I think a lot of people are fired up about him. I think he's kind of gotten lost because they have these veterans. They drafted some of these guys. Winfrey's kind of that guy who's been on the practice squad. I'm excited to see what he is. Amari Rodgers has come back hungry and he's come back lighter too and quicker, and more confident. So that's going to be interesting to see. Special teams. I mean, Romeo Dubs and Rodgers, it appears Amari Rodgers have been, taking their fair share of the punt return duties and kick return duties. And last few days there have been some muffs, but today I know Amari Rodgers had a great day returning punts. So I'm very interested to see who they're gonna, I think it's gonna be Amari Rodgers because Dubs I think is gonna be more crucial to the receiving game. I think they're gonna need, Amari had experience as a rookie last year doing it. With Bisaccia calling the shots, honestly, my opinion doesn't even matter with Bisaccia calling the shots. I'm going to trust him. My thoughts mean nothing here. It's going to sit back.
Well, dude, but what do you think about this? I mean, is Cobb filling that slot role? I mean, I know we have a couple different guys that probably have a shot at it. We haven't seen enough tape, seen enough movement to really decide where they should go. But, I mean, do you think Amari Rodgers could make that next step
in the slot?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, that's what I hope so. Personally, is my answer.
Yeah,
just very reassuring to know based on how Amari's transition, and every guy has a different transition to the NFL. Some are slower than others, but to have Cobb still there makes me feel good.
What greater person to learn from, though? It's like he's Tom Brady's Julian Edelman. That's what he is. That's what Randall Cobb is. But also, people seem to kind of forget, Randall Cobb and Amari Rodgers grew up together. Like, I believe T. Martin, have you heard T. Martin? T. Martin, college football legend. I believe he's Amari Rodgers' father. He coached Randall Cobb in high school or college. I think it was college at Kentucky. And, Amari spent time with Randall a lot. They hung out, and they're literally family friends. They grew up in the same area, and now they're playing together in the NFL, and they're playing the same position. I mean, who else would you not want to, or who else would you want to learn from? Other than Randall. And I hope he makes strides in the slot. And I think he will. I think he's going to have a bounce back season. And by that, I mean, of course, like I think he'll catch more than 4 passes or whatever he caught as a rookie. I can't put a number on it. And of course, by saying that, I'm going to put a number on it. Probably, I don't know, at least 30 or 40 catches. I don't know. But, I still have a whole lot of faith in Randall. No Packer do I want, no better Packer do I want playing the slot than Randall Cobb. Lizard King, Alan Lazard is going to be big time on the outside, 6'5", 230 pounds, just a beast. Sammy's been making plays, he's been making some sweet snags in training camp. And, again, Dubs blew by Eric Stokes on one. It was one highlight that went viral at training camp. And we'll see what he does against a different cornerback. But like Stokes has 4.2 speed. He's going up against a fast cornerback, and for Dubs to shake him and get to the outs, I mean, that's impressive stuff. So we're going to see.
Some of these guys got to see a little bit. Now I know Dubs wasn't one of them, but the guys that got to spend a little time with Devontae, Juwan Winfrey, Devontae, I'm not saying he's not fast, but he's not the fastest guy out there.
Yeah. It was his footwork. It was his footwork.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm excited about these guys. And, speaking of the receivers, Odell Beckham, let's get to it. So Rappaport, Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network talked about, I believe it was yesterday, the NFL Network's bouncing around different training camps. And he was asked, about, what's up with Odell Beckham. And he said, of course the Rams are interested. The Bucs were interested, one of the teams that were interested before they signed Julio. So now they're off the table. And he said the Packers were another team that's still been interested. It's been the Rams and the Packers the last year. Rams ended up getting him last year, which was I was excited. I kind of got my hopes up. That's what always happens as Packers fans when we want to sign someone great, we get our hopes up. But we have an opportunity here. He's a free agent, and we'll see what happens. I would love it if we signed him. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, he's a great player, and I think he's certainly grown from his days as a younger player who, maybe there was some, a little immature maybe, or certain situations. He's a great player, made a great impact for the Rams last year. Had we not, messed up and lost the Niners, I think we would have won the Super Bowl because we were the best team. Yeah. With that said, though, do you think we should sign OBJ?
I would like to see it. It's such a tough call because you got to think, how many receivers are we gonna keep?
Yeah, that's the problem. Yeah,
and I mean, even if let's see, we got Cobb. I'm just being out here.
Yeah,
Lazard, Amari Rodgers. You got Samari Toure, Juwan Winfrey, Christian Watkins. Sammy Watkins, am I right here?
Yeah.
I mean, that's getting rid of Malik Taylor.
Yeah, this is why Samari Toure has made some plays, and I like the kid. He was a big yak guy in Nebraska and Montana. He's a former All-American. But I had a big problem with the team drafting a receiver in the 7th round. I just did. I am not Sonny Weaver Jr. I'm not in drafting. I'm not in the front office. That's a great movie. It's unrealistic, but it's a great movie.
You should be, but you're not.
Yeah. Another topic for another day. Why not just bring in one more veteran? I get it. I wanted Julio Jones. The Packers were in on Julio. They talked when the news broke that he signed with Tampa. The Packers were another team. Julio had talked to Aaron Rodgers. That's what happened. Julio said he had talked to Aaron himself. Like, why not bring in a Julio or an OBJ? I know we got younger. We have Amari Rodgers. We have Dubs. Lazard is younger. Watkins is still in his 20s. Like if we get, a Julio or an OBJ that brings us some more veteran experience, more star power. Like, why not? Now we're looking at a team very underrated, very kind of unknown, big question mark, but a lot of guys who are making plays. Odell Beckham made a big impact on the Rams last year, and he and Aaron Rodgers have become friends over the years. He, was close to coming here last year. And we have a sick defense, a great running attack, probably the best in the league. Obviously, we have the best quarterback in NFL history, a deep offensive line, maybe another star receiver, one more receiver could help us out, and maybe it would be for another 1-year deal, or I don't know what the situation would be, but why not bring him in? Like, I understand the whole, like, we have a bunch of receivers, like, let's see what they can do, but like, why not bring him in now? Then he can talk with Aaron Rodgers, learn about the playbook, talk with LaFleur, that kind of stuff. Why not? That's just my thing. Why not? Because
I'm with you.
Like, that's what the Bucks do. That's what the Bucks do. That's what the Rams do. Like, I know we have a certain way, and Aaron talked about this last offseason, just about the way things are done, and they've been so successful at doing it, drafting, developing, and they're great, and they win all the time. But and maybe they would have won it last year or 2 years ago had players not gotten hurt, because I think they were the best team. I think they've been the best team the last 2 years, but guys have gotten hurt. So I get it that they've put themselves in position here. Just, I don't know, man. Odell is great, and if he's out there, man, and we're interested, if our foot is halfway out the door, and we're looking at this guy, screw it. Let's just go do it. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I would love it if we brought him in, because he could win one-on-one like Allen Iverson or something like that. Just he's so great. His footwork is, ridiculous. He's got great hands, just great in space. So I would love the addition. That means we probably won't do it though. So I don't.
I mean, the other thing, I don't really understand the entirety of the practice squad. Now, I'm sure Toure, Dubs, they want to be on the starting roster, Malik Taylor. I mean, are you able to talk to some of these guys and say, hey, look, it's a long season, someone's going to get hurt. We only have a certain amount of roster spots on the active roster, but we want to keep you.
Yeah.
I mean, would some guys be willing to sit practice squad until it's called out? I don't know. I mean, some of them are young enough that it's fine, but
How bad do you want a Super Bowl ring?
Malik's been in the league 3 years. I'm sure he might want. That may or may not work for him, but some of these guys, I think that could work.
I think Malik Taylor is a special teamer. Like, they like him on special teams. I think that's kind of the thing too. Like, some of these guys maybe, are more special teams than they are receivers, or I don't know. They will understand it, and it's a business, and they get it. They understand that, stuff like that. How far are they willing to go though to get a Super Bowl ring? They have like, what is it? Roughly like $17 million in cap space. Like, plenty of money to sign a couple of guys, but no, you don't need much help on defense, unless you want a backup somewhere. I don't know. So it's I want Odell Beckham. I'm going to say it, and let's get him here before he gets a chance to sign with the Rams again, because he made a great impact, and we're going to play the Rams again this year, and we're probably going to beat them. We are probably going to beat them again on Monday night. You and I are going to be there. That's topic for another day. We'll talk about that. But it's going to be interesting. Yeah. Yeah. It's. I would love Odell Beckham, but that means we're not going to do it probably, and that's okay, because we're probably going to win 12 games anyway, and we're probably going to be there in the end. And our team is good enough. We're going to be good enough. It's just I'd love some icing on the cake with Odell.
It broke up, dude.
Shoot, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can. It's just getting fun. They were telling me to close applications. I've been closing applications like a madman over here.
Sorry about that. But yeah, I was just ending my rant by just saying we should sign Odell. What's that?
Oh yeah, we need to pick a game. We're gonna go.
Yeah. LA Rams.
Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I mean, quick aside, talking to my mom, there's a auction somewhere. I'm not going to name where because I don't want anybody else to get in on it. But apparently, there's some end zone seats for a game.
Okay. No, we'll talk about that later on. All right. So to close out, Leroy Butler, Hall of Fame. He's been waiting a long time, doing the Dwight clap. He retired in 2001, been waiting a long time for it, finally gets in. 4 first-team All-Pros, 4 straight in the 1990s, Super Bowl champion, member of the 1990s All-Decade team, franchise cornerstone with Reggie White, Brett Favre, all those guys, Gilbert Brown. I mean, did you ever remember, because you're so old, no, did you ever remember seeing him play? Because I don't, obviously, I don't.
Yeah, considering I'm 40 years older than you. Yeah, I mean, I have a couple of distinct, Packer memories, but definitely not the same acumen that I possess today when I'm watching a game. But I mean, there was a quiet comfort to knowing that he was back there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's
Hell
not.
yeah.
We went through some years with some safeties that you just didn't feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
And he's a guy that he just produced. He shut up, produced, and
full of joy. He wasn't. I mean, it's you see him around Lambeau, or you hear about what he has to say. Really cool, really good guy, like really good dude. You love to hear him talk, and I mean, he's just so experienced and just a really nice person, which is always great to have in as part of the Packers. Which is great.
It's that ilk of Packer player that would play, just absolutely destroy you, and all they would say to you is, "This is the Bay." I mean, that actually applies.
Yeah, literally, it does. But yeah, so you have a gripe about,
I need some help.
Yeah.
Look, it's been a painful offseason with the departure of Devontae. And, I went all out. I got a Nike Legend jersey, alternative, the green and gold. It was a Devontae. And
I don't mean to brag.
I hadn't bought a new jersey in years. Last time was a questionable website that gave me a really good deal on a Clay Matthews, Aaron Rodgers kind of double set. Needless to say, the website's no longer there, but I digress. So, whatever, 9 years later, I'm going to buy a new jersey, and I finally got one, and thinking Devontae's going to get inked, and he's gone. I go to look at the Legends again, because the Legend jerseys are great. They're light, they move real well. It's great for playing catch, whatever you want to do. And there's 30 teams that have Legend jerseys, and the Packers are not one of them. And I just don't know if there's too many Packer fans and too many jerseys sold that NFL Shop is trying to help the league in general and have other fan bases show up. That's my first guess, of course. But I just want to support Rodgers with a Legend jersey, and it's a little frustrating that we can't get that to happen.
So you and me will go to Manhattan tomorrow, and we will protest outside the NFL offices. Just the two of us. We'll make signs. We'll make a day of it. We'll pack a lunch. It'll be fine. And we'll protest, NFL legends. There's just, for some reason, the Green Bay Packers, why aren't they up there? And I'm sure we'll give Roger Goodell hell.
Can we do it like a Michael Scott, Dwight Schrute kind of stakeout?
We'll do the stakeout, and then we'll get eggs. It's like the episode when Ryan has his sales call, and they don't give him his business or whatever, and just starts egging the place, and Dwight's like, "Oh, Ryan the temp," and he's like, whatever. And that's a great show. We should just have an episode, take a break and just talk about that, because I think that, whatever, after the Super Bowl. Hey, I think we've reached the end. Are we there? I think we're there.
We're there.
Yeah, we're there.
Player to watch. That's it. End on. Who are you watching?
Player to watch for Friday's game, or just in camp in general?
No, Friday's game.
Quay. It's gotta be Quay Walker, dude. I'm so him and Campbell. Devondre won't play, but I am just fired up to see that duo. You have one all-pro veteran and then a young stud, talented rookie from the SEC, national champion. I'm fired up for it. That's all I can say. Let's go. Let's go play.
All right. I like that pick, actually. I'll flip other side of the ball, just the obvious. Let's see what Jordan Love has been doing.
Okay. All right. All right.
Progress, man.
Mm-hmm. He's been lighting it up. I mean, they've given him more of the playbook. He's been more, he's been like literally Matt LaFleur said they've been letting him just rip it more. Like they trust him more, just like, I mean, he had a couple nice darts on family night.
You had said earlier in this episode, there's some guys that thrive without the lights on and some that thrive with the lights on. He's choked these preseason games to a degree and some of the, in the season. And let's hope he's put that behind him, learning lesson, learning block, and prove that he's the real deal.
Yeah. I will say he did outplay Patrick Mahomes in Arrowhead, a game the Packers, yeah, it felt like they won that game. Even though they lost, it felt like they won that game. Just the way the defense played and the way Jordan Love had outplayed Mahomes. I digress. It's going to be great to see. Hey, Packers football is back. Finally. It's it's the first time we get Packers football, this year. We won't not have football until March. So it's
here we go, baby.
This is the Bay. It's going to be a glorious time. Judging by that dude behind your left shoulder, it seems like he's going to win back-to-back MVPs, and we're going to win a Super Bowl. I'm just going to say it. We're going to do it. That's it. All right?
All right.
All right. This is the Bay.
This is the Bay.